When did you escape from a real-life nightmare? My older cousin Jackson dared me that for $100 I couldn't swim from one end of the drain pipe to the other. We were at the lake where this huge concrete pipe ran under the road connecting both sides. It was maybe 30 feet long and half underwater during the summer. I stood there looking at the dark opening, feeling my stomach turn. The water was murky, and you couldn't see more than a few inches down. Before I could chicken out, my older brother Clayton pushed me aside. "Watch this," he said, and dove straight into the pipe without even taking a deep breath first. All my cousins and I ran to the other side of the road to watch him come out. We waited by the opening where the water flowed out into the lake. 30 seconds passed, then a minute. Still no Clayton. "Where is he?" my cousin Tyler asked. Jackson looked worried now. "Maybe he swam out and we missed him." We looked around the lake, but there was no sign of Clayton anywhere. Another minute went by and my cousins started getting on me. "Go find your brother," Jackson said, pushing me toward the water. "You're not a good sibling if you just leave him in there," Tyler added. "What if he's stuck?" my cousin Alicia said. "You have to check." My hands were shaking, but I knew they were right. I took the biggest breath I could and swam into the drain pipe. The water was cold and dark inside. I could barely see anything, but I kept pulling myself forward using the slimy walls. Everything was going fine at first. The pipe was wide enough that I could swim normally, but then I noticed it was getting narrower. The walls were closing in. My shoulders started scraping against the concrete. The water level was rising higher around my face. Then I hit something soft and stopped completely. My head was barely above the water now. I could only breathe if I tilted my head all the way back. I reached forward to feel what was blocking me, and my hand touched wet fabric. Then skin, cold skin. It was Clayton. He was stuck in the pipe, and he wasn't moving. "Clayton!" I screamed, but my voice just echoed in the tiny space. I tried to shake him, but he didn't respond. His body was wedged tight in the narrowest part of the pipe. I was stuck behind him with water rising up to my chin. Every time I moved, I swallowed nasty lake water. "Help!" I screamed again, but knew nobody could hear me from inside the pipe. I tried backing up, but there wasn't enough room to turn around. Going forward was impossible with Clayton's body blocking the way. The pipe had gotten so narrow here that our shoulders were pressed tight against the walls. I was going to drown. We were both going to die in this stupid drain pipe because of a stupid dare. The water kept splashing into my mouth and nose. I couldn't keep my head above it much longer. Then I remembered something from a YouTube video about escape artists. They dislocate their shoulders to squeeze through tight spaces. It makes their body narrower. I looked at Clayton's still form in front of me. I knew what I had to do, but it made me sick to think about it. "I'm sorry, Clayton," I whispered. I grabbed his left shoulder and pulled it hard until I heard a pop. His arm went limp and twisted at a weird angle. I did the same to his right shoulder. His body immediately sank lower in the water and started sliding forward through the narrow section. I pushed him as hard as I could, and he slipped through like a rag doll. I heard a splash on the other side as he fell out of the pipe. Now it was my turn. I grabbed my left shoulder with my right hand and yanked as hard as I could. The pain was incredible. It felt like my arm was being ripped off, but I heard the pop, and suddenly that shoulder could move in ways it shouldn't. I did the same to my right shoulder, screaming through the pain. Both my arms were now hanging useless at weird angles, but my body was narrower. I used my legs to push myself through the tight section, scraping my chest and back against the concrete. Finally, I splashed out into the bright sunlight on the other side. My cousins were all standing around Clayton's body on the shore. Jackson was doing CPR while Alicia called 911. "What happened in there?" Jackson yelled at me when he saw me crawl out of the water with my arms hanging wrong. I looked at Clayton's pale face. His lips were blue. Jackson kept pumping his chest, but nothing was happening. I told them, "You can put the $200 toward funeral expenses."